Black twins told to move to economy. Minutes later, their CEO dad calls and the plane's grounded. Before we dive in this story, hit the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's see how far this story reaches. If you like the video, please subscribe. The flight attendant leaned in, fake smile wide, voice laced with condescension. These seats are reserved. You two need to move to the back. The twins, dressed neatly and calmly, held up their first-class tickets. Still, eyes rolled. The whispers started, but what no one knew, what the crew was about to learn the hard way, was that these weren't just any kids. Their father was watching everything. And he wasn't just any dad. He was the CEO of the airline. And the plane? It wasn't going anywhere. Watch till the end to see what happens next. Zoe and Zuri, 14-year-old identical twins, were on their way home to Atlanta after visiting their grandmother. Polite, well-spoken, and raised to carry themselves with confidence. They had flown solo before, but never like this. Their father, a tech mogul turned CEO of one of the biggest airlines in the country, had booked them first-class seats as usual. Not because they needed luxury, but because they deserved to feel safe and respected. They boarded early and settled into 2A and 2B. They greeted the crew, pulled out their books, and smiled at passengers boarding. Then came the looks. Then, the flight attendant. "Excuse me. You two might be in the wrong section." They showed their tickets. She didn't even look. "I'll need you both to move to economy. Now." No explanation. No reason. Just two black kids. And a crew that decided they didn't belong. Passengers turned their heads, some curious, some uncomfortable, but none spoke up. The girls tried to explain. "Our tickets say first class." The attendant scoffed, voice louder now. "I said move. These seats are for paying customers." Zuri clenched her jaw. Zoe's eyes welled, but she stayed calm. They'd seen enough in the world to know when they were being judged. It wasn't about age or policy. It was about perception. Zuri pulled out her phone and texted one word to her dad: problem. Within 60 seconds, her father, Victor Lane, replied. Then another text came: "Do not move. Let me handle it." 3 rows behind them, a man tried to chime in. Maybe they should just move to avoid trouble. The crew didn't stop him. The attendant returned, now with a forced smile. "We've confirmed it's a mistake, but we'd still prefer it if you switched. You understand, right?" The girls didn't budge. 30 seconds later, the captain's phone buzzed in the cockpit. Then everything changed. The intercom crackled. "Ladies and gentlemen, due to an operational issue, we need to delay departure. Please remain seated." But the issue wasn't mechanical. The CEO was calling, not the gate. Directly, and he wasn't asking. The flight attendant was summoned to the jet bridge. When she returned, her face was pale. Another crew member whispered something. She didn't respond. Instead, she walked back to the girls. "Mr. Lane has asked to speak with you both on the tarmac." The plane doors opened. Victor Lane was standing there. No bodyguards, no entourage, just presence. Tall, calm, cold fire in his eyes. He looked past the crew and straight at his daughters. "You okay?" he asked gently. They nodded. Then he turned to the flight supervisor behind him. "Ground the flight. Replace the entire crew. My daughters won't be flying with people who think they don't belong." The supervisor stammered, "Yes, sir." The passengers watched in stunned silence as the crew was escorted off the plane. The twins stayed seated. And the plane? It remained exactly where it was. The story spread like wildfire. Passengers filmed everything. The video hit 4 million views in 24 hours. Headlines read, "Airline CEO grounds flight after racism toward daughters." The crew was investigated. Training protocols were rewritten. But more importantly, a national conversation erupted about how black children are treated even when they have it all. Victor Lane later gave a brief statement. It wasn't about power. It was about protection. My daughters should never have to prove they belong in a seat they already paid for. Zoe and Zuri returned home safely, but the scars of being publicly diminished lingered, and the world was left asking, how many kids never get to text the right person when they're treated like they don't belong? If you enjoyed this story and thought it provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For more powerful narratives, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Take care.